I want to introduce one of our instructors. I've known Doug Crandall since we bonded at West Point together more than 30 years ago. After graduating from West Point, Doug became an Army officer and then later completed an MBA at Stanford. He was then selected to return to West Point to teach leadership. Later, Doug left the military and was an executive at Amazon, then ultimately blossomed in a career as a world-class teacher and author in the discipline of leadership, and is the genius behind much of the process you will experience with us. About 5 years ago, I stole Doug from all his other endeavors, and I asked him to join me in bringing his world-class teaching process to healthcare. Thankfully, he agreed. Doug's ability to synthesize the research and present it in an engaging way allows you to truly transform your leadership potential if you commit to the process. We've had people marvel that even after a full 8 hours of teaching with Doug, they can't believe how fast the time went and are left wanting more. So I encourage you, lean in and engage with us as you grow in your leadership. We're truly honored and excited to be a part of your journey.
So I spent 13 years in the Army, and during that time, we were raising 4 kids. They grew up kind of in the Army, and we lived in places like South Carolina and California and Georgia. And so it was really important that when we went on family vacations, we actually got back home where my wife and I grew up. So we didn't go places like Grand Canyon or Yosemite. We went back almost all the time to my wife's old house in Bellevue, Washington, where she grew up. The house has been in the family for about 100 years now. It's a really cool place that's on a lake. We're fortunate to be able to go there. And it just became the kids' favorite place in the world. They love going there. And I love going there too. But there was one time we went back where I wanted them to see my old house. And so not sure if you watched Seinfeld back in the day or watch the reruns now, but there's an episode where Kramer takes a bunch of people on a bus and goes on the J. Peterman reality tour. And he shows them places in New York that were part of J. Peterman's life. So I kind of created the Doug Crandall reality tour and decided I was going to take my kids and show them where I went to high school and where I went to elementary school, and maybe like, this is the McDonald's we used to ride our bikes to or whatever. So we got in my in-laws' Suburban one day and we went on this course that I charted out. And then the pinnacle of the trip was the last stop. It was a visit to my old house, 13664 Northeast 37th Place in Bellevue, Washington. And as we pulled up and parked by the mailbox, it occurred to me, I was aware of the fact that the people who my parents sold the house to still live there. So I took all 6 of us and we knocked on the front door, and they answered, and they were actually, the woman was super gracious and she invited us in. I was like, wow, this just like went up to another level, right? This is amazing. Like, we're going to go in and I'm actually going to show them like where I used to pretend I was Rocky Balboa, or this is where Aunt Laura got in a fight with Uncle Rob over who was going to get the last grape soda. So I take them on this 10-minute tour and show them all these things. We get done. I've had this amazing like hour-long experience. We get back in my in-laws' Suburban. I can picture it. We're pointed downhill right by the mailboxes over here. And our kids are in the back 2 rows. And along the first part of this tour, in between the stops, I've been doing trivia with the kids to keep them entertained. So asking them mostly sports questions, like who's the all-time leader in the NFL in passing and things like that. And the most invested in the trivia had been our second oldest, Jason. So he would answer these questions. When we got back in the car to go home, Jason says, hey, can we do trivia again? And I was like, no, we're done with trivia. Like, I'm kind of emotionally spent showing him everything. And he says one more time, he's relentless. No, I want to do trivia, Dad. I was like, Jason, we're not doing any more trivia. And he says, why not? I was like, because I just don't feel like it. And Jason responds, well, no one asked me if I felt like walking through your old house. And I'm just like, touche, from an 8-year-old, 9-year-old. It's a silly little story, but upon reflection, when I look back at it, I'm like, I didn't ask. Here I am walking around in my old house, and there's 5 people behind me, and they are miserable, right? Like, they're like, when is this going to be over? And I am oblivious, just having this great time. Here's the idea. We are not going to define leadership for you with a specific definition, an elaborate definition. It's as simple as this. Like, you're a leader if people are following you. And on that day, 5 people were following me. And I was not leading them well. I was never even like looking back to see if they were having a good time. Here I am out front, looking forward, having a great time, and they were not. We are going to take you through a process where you get to explore your own leadership, develop yourself as a leader with this idea that you're a leader if people are following you, and you're a good leader if you know where you're going. And that's really what this journey is about, helping you understand where you're going, reminding you to look back at times, because it is about the people you're leading.